Hi there. Popping in today to talk to you about the exciting lunar eclipse that's coming up in Virgo. So we've had the solar eclipse 2 weeks ago, and now we have the lunar eclipse. They always come in pairs. The solar eclipse was about new beginnings, opening up new opportunities, the way forward, revealing an awful lot of stuff that was going on. So we've all been very aware of how much has been revealed since the 17th of February. And there's so much more to come. This is really just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be things revealed in every aspect of the world, of humanity, of the globe, of animals, of everything. It's not just about the Epstein files, which seem to be sort of taking charge right now. There's so much more to come out. And it's so important, as I've said before, is we have to see this, because if we don't, if we're not all aware of how bad, how negative, how evil, how corrupt the world has been, then we're not going to make the right changes. So we have to see it. Otherwise, it's going to get swept under the carpet once again, and we'll carry on living this lie that doesn't serve any of us, or serves very, very few people and not the rest of us. So, a lunar eclipse. Solar eclipses represent new beginnings. Lunar eclipses tend to represent endings. So things that we need to end in our lives. So wherever the Virgo energy sits in your chart is where things might be coming to an end. Now, Virgo represents your health. It represents a very spiritual, it's a very healing planet, so health and healing. It also represents the daily life and the details and taking care of business, basically. So what we might find with this lunar eclipse is that some of your daily habits, your schedules, the things that you're very used to doing habitually or on a regular basis are going to come to an end. Because once again, like we've been experiencing a lot, we've all been being asked over these last few years, what is it you really want? And what is really important to you that you need to have in your life on a daily basis because it's positive. So many of us for so long have collected so much negative stuff that we just keep in our thoughts and our heart and our brain, wherever we keep this negativity, and we keep repeating it to ourselves. And this is one of the things that will be really powerful thing to stop at this lunar eclipse, because it's a very good opportunity for us all to look at our self-care. And now self-care isn't just about getting a massage or getting your hair done or having your nails done or all those sorts of lovely things. It's actually about what goes on in here. This is the ultimate self-care, is being in charge of what you allow yourself to think about. Because if you allow yourself to spend all day thinking about all the things that are wrong in the world, how horrible people are, how much you hate yourself, all of those things, and that is what you're going to create. So we've got to really get on top of our thinking, our mindfulness. It's extremely important. And so during this lunar eclipse, take the time to look at your thoughts. How much time do you spend putting yourself down? How much time do you spend thinking negative thoughts or talking them out loud or saying them to yourself? Because all of that just builds up negative energy. And this is one of the big habits that as human beings, we're very good at, looking at what's wrong instead of what's right. And Virgo energy extremely capitulates on this, because Virgo is the energy of perfection. And for a Virgo person, anything less than perfection is just not good enough. It's just not that. You either win or you lose, and there's nothing in between, which is a really harsh way at looking at life, but it's kind of necessary at this time for us to really see what have you got in your life that's negative, that you're doing habitually all the time. It's time for that to stop, because it's not bringing out the best in you. And therefore, if it's not bringing out the best in you, you're not contributing in the best way that you can to the collective, to yourself, and to the world around you. So, as we've said before, the eclipses are really allowing so much more to be revealed. And the lunar eclipse is going to trigger even more. Now, at the time of this lunar eclipse, not only will it be conjuncting the south node, so talking about things that we need to let go of, that are very much things that we've mastered, things that we have done, we're very good at, we've done them well, we don't need to keep repeating them. We've already learnt that. It's time to move into some new potential. But at the same time as it's conjuncting the south node, it's also opposing the sun, the north node, Venus, Mercury, and Mars all sitting in Pisces energy. So we've got this opposition, strong opposition going on between the moon and all of these other planets. So when there's an opposition going on between planets, it's sort of showing two different ways that we can solve a problem. But with opposition, sparks fly, and there's going to be a lot of clashing. So because it's the reality of the Virgo energy, it's an earth sign, it's real, it's tangible, it's down to earth, it's practical, it's logical. Pisces energy is the opposite. It's illusional, it's spiritual, it's imaginative, it's creative, it's all those other things. And so what we're going to see is how much of that spiritual stuff that we all tune into and listen to, how much of that is real. And as we've already seen since the release of the Epstein files. And since the solar eclipse, there are spiritual leaders all around the world being called out for their actions and their not so great behavior as well. So, this is a lot of revelations. And so, what we've got to be careful of is that we don't throw everything in the same basket and sort of give up on everything spiritual because the person that you used to follow spiritually turned out to be not so nice or not such a great person. Yeah, that's their journey, that's them. And, yes, you believed in that person, and that's okay. It's okay to trust in something and believe in something that's bigger than you, that you feel is important. And now you've been let down, and now you've realized. And this is going to happen time and time again because humanity has put way too much focus on celebrities, on leaders, on spiritual leaders, on political leaders, on global leaders, on kings and queens. There's been way too much pressure put on these people, or belief that these people are good. They lead us. They've got our best intentions at heart. They're the people that we should worship and follow. And that's also wrong. The only person you should be worshiping and following is yourself, and not in the way that you bow down to yourself and you think you're a god. You are a god. Absolutely, you're a god. You're a spark of God energy. And so, this is all encouraging us more and more. You have to believe in yourself. You have to go with what feels right for you, what rings true for you. And we're going to get more and more things going on around us that are going to pull you back into yourself so that you can actually learn to rely on yourself all over again. And for many people out there, it's been a very long time since you've allowed yourself to rely on you, to make your own decisions, to know that what you feel is right for you is the action you're going to take, rather than giving in to others or doing what people tell you, or just doing what the consensus says. It's time for this to change. So, as I've said, taking care of the mind, the body, and the soul is really, really important moving forward. We're going to go, and there's going to be a lot of chaos. There already is, and there's going to be even more. With all of this water energy at the time of this lunar eclipse, we could be exposed to more flooding, higher rainfalls, things, lots of things to do with water happening once again. And as this is resetting us as people and helping us to, be more aware of what we need to look after, our infrastructure and ourselves and all our human infrastructure, as well as the planet and the country's infrastructure, as well as looking after all that, it's really encouraging us once again to look after ourselves on every level. You've got to come back to what works for you. So what else is happening? So with this Virgo energy, Virgo energy and lunar eclipses are endings. So it's the endings and completions of things that we've already worked through, things you've already mastered. You don't need to keep going back to it to make sure that you're doing it right. You're already doing it right. So we're also letting go of control and perfection, because those are all also very strong Virgoing traits, that need for perfection. So we're going to be actually, rather than, again, with that Virgo energy, we're so conditioned or tuned into beating up on ourselves, and when we don't do something right, if we're not perfect in what we do, we give ourselves a hard time. We don't say nice things to ourselves, and that all needs to change, because all of those energies need to become positive. We need to really start looking at life, everything, through a positive energy of change. So when we look at all the chaos and the corruption, everything's going on, it's the end of an empire. It's the falling down of the old ways, and we have to witness this. We have to go through this, because the only way to find the new beginning is to go through the old ending. And that's where we're all at now. So I talked in my last video about the in-between energies between eclipses, about the transformational energy of the caterpillar to the butterfly. Now, the lunar eclipse isn't going to bring the butterfly out just yet. The butterfly still got, or the caterpillar's still got a lot of work to do to become the butterfly. But I have to just absolutely assure you all once again that the process has begun. The good world is coming. The good results are coming, but we're going to have to go through a whole lot more rubbish until we get there. And this is really just an example. The more corruption, the more evil, the more things we're seeing out there, as things changing at the moment, as well as what's been happening historically, is really very much showing that the bad guys are fighting for their lives. They know they're on the out. They know that they're not going to win this battle anymore, and like they've done all these other years. We're winning. We really are. So believe in yourself. Believe that we're creating a better world, even though we're surrounded in chaos. So at this lunar eclipse, let go of anything that you are doing habitually or all the time that isn't helping you. And let go of things that have done their distance, have done their task, whatever. If you're still holding on to jobs, relationships, things in your life that you've already used up everything you can use from that, or you've learned everything you can use from that experience, then let it go. And the lunar eclipse will help you to do that. Kind of gives you that opportunity to move forward with a lot more strength and purpose than how you would move forward with just on any full moon energy. So enjoy this lunar eclipse, allow yourself to let go, and also be aware of how much better care you can take of yourself in every way, and particularly how you think about yourself. I'll see you all later. Bye.